All right, let's talk about a quiet revolution that's happening on farms right now. It involves fewer people, a whole lot more animals, and a massive amount of data. It's a huge shift in how our food gets made, and honestly, it's happening way faster than you might think.
I know, that sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But believe it or not, this is quickly becoming the reality in Japan and really all over the world. The classic image we have of farming is being completely redrawn by technology, and the stakes could not be higher.
So, why is this happening now? To really get it, we first have to look at the incredible pressures facing modern livestock farming. It's like a perfect storm of social, economic, and environmental challenges all hitting at once.
This right here is the heart of the problem. As the older generation of farmers retires, there just aren't enough younger people stepping up to take their place. But our demand for meat and dairy, that's not shrinking, it's exploding. And that means every single farmer left has to manage way more animals.
And what's just wild here is the speed of this change. We're not talking about some slow, gradual decline. In just 10 years, Japan's farming workforce dropped by nearly 700,000 people. That is a massive drain of experience and labor just gone from the system. So, at the exact same time the number of farmers is plummeting, look what's happening to demand. By 2050, the world is projected to need almost double the meat and more than double the dairy it consumed back in 2010. You can see the bind they're in: fewer people and way more pressure to produce. Okay, this number. This one represents a really troubling hidden cost of all that pressure. 66%. That's the rate of internal organ disease found in cattle at Japanese slaughterhouses. It's a pretty stark sign that pushing for more and more productivity is putting a huge strain on the animals themselves. And this brings us to this really important idea of animal welfare. It's a term we hear a lot, but it's not just about being kind to animals. It's a scientific approach. It's about using real, measurable data to make sure animals are healthy and not under stress, which, by the way, also leads to safer food and better productivity. And if all that wasn't enough, you've got the environmental piece of the puzzle. In Japan's farm sector, livestock is the #1 source of greenhouse gases, almost a third of all agricultural emissions. So any plan for a sustainable future has to deal with this head on. So you have this perfect storm of challenges, right? Labor shortages, animal health issues, environmental worries. How do you solve it? Well, this is where technology steps in. Farmers are now turning to a whole new set of tools we call smart farming. At its core, smart farming is actually a pretty simple loop. First, you have sensors, the Internet of Things, that sense what's happening in the real world. Second, you have AI that analyzes all that data in the digital world. And third, you have automated systems that act on those findings back in the physical world. Sense, analyze, act. Simple, but incredibly powerful. Now this is the real game changer. The massive shift here is what's being sensed. Traditionally, farmers monitored the barn. Is it too hot in here, too humid? Now, smart tech lets us monitor the animal itself, its movement, its temperature, its behavior. The cow literally becomes a walking, living sensor, giving us a constant stream of data about its own health. So what does this digital farmhand actually do? Well, check out this toolkit. We're talking about milking robots that work 24/7, collars that can tell the farmer the exact right moment for breeding, AI cameras that can spot the first signs of sickness before a human ever could, and systems that send an alert to the farmer's phone the second a calf is about to be born. It's constant vigilance without constant human labor. Okay, so if this tech is so great, why isn't every single farm a high-tech paradise? Well, it turns out the hurdles are often less about the technology itself and more about the people. To get this, we have to talk about a classic idea from the tech world called the adoption chasm. Basically, any new thing is first tried by a few brave pioneers. But for it to really take off, it has to jump over this huge gap, this chasm, and convince the rest of us, the more cautious majority. Right now, Japanese smart farming is standing on the edge of that chasm. And this quote, man, this just says it all. It perfectly captures one of the biggest hurdles. Researchers even gave it a name, the artisan dad block. It's that resistance from an older generation of farmers who, understandably, trust their decades of hard-won intuition over what a computer screen is telling them. I mean, think about it. The older generation learned their craft managing smaller herds where they knew every single animal. The next generation, they're facing herds of hundreds, maybe thousands. For them, data isn't trying to replace their skill. It's an absolutely essential tool for managing a totally different scale of farming. And it's not just about tradition versus tech. There are some very real practical problems. The cost to get started is huge. That's a big one. But you also have a lack of digital skills, no reliable tech support out in the countryside, and the fact that Japan's farms are so diverse, you can't just create one-size-fits-all solution. So how do you get past all those hurdles? Well, it turns out it's all part of a much bigger national vision. This isn't just about helping individual farms, it's about redesigning Japan's whole food system for the future. The Japanese government has put a stake in the ground with what they call the Green Food System Strategy. And the goal here is super ambitious. They want to use technology and innovation to hit two targets at once: boost productivity and make farming environmentally sustainable for the long haul. And smart farming is right at the center of that plan. And this table shows you exactly why. Smart livestock farming offers what you might call a triple win. It attacks the labor shortage with automation. It boosts animal welfare with that 24/7 monitoring. And it helps the environment by using resources like feed and water with incredible precision. It's one solution that hits three massive problems. What's really cool is that this isn't just a one-and-done upgrade. It creates this amazing positive feedback loop, a virtuous cycle. So a farmer installs an automated feeder and suddenly saves hours every single day. They can use that newfound time to actually analyze the health data from their herd, which makes them a better manager. And that success makes them way more likely to try the next innovation. So that leaves us with this final thought. This isn't just a story about farming in Japan. It's a story about the food on our tables and the planet we all share. Yeah, the switch to smart farming is complicated. It's got cultural, economic, and technical hurdles. But as data and AI become the new farmhands, they aren't just changing a job. They are fundamentally reprogramming the foundation of how we get our food. The real question is, are we ready for it?